Someone explain to me how I have 4 degrees and still can't get a job. BA in communication, BA in Spanish, BFA in dance. Get ready for this one. Master's degree in freaking journalism. Mind you, I've gotten laid off not once, not twice, but 3 times in the span of 2 years. So if you're feeling behind, just know you're not.
So my question is, what did she get laid off from? What job industry? And the second thing is, I didn't learn this until later on. Thank God I went for computer science because obviously, we're going to be using technology for the rest of our lives. But a lot of the times people get degrees because of what they actually are passionate about, but that doesn't always equate to making money. I don't understand every single degree that's out there, but I do know a lot of the money-making degrees are in the STEM programs. You know what I'm saying? Or being a lawyer. Possibly, it's a hit or miss. Hey, let me know in the comment section down below. MBA, getting your MBA, becoming a doctor. Obviously we already talked about the medical field. And there's some other degrees as well, but certain things like theater arts, liberal arts, you guys got to let me know, because I have some friends in college who have literally struggled to get jobs in their expertise. And the more and more I learn about the economy, the job industry, I'm like, bro, what jobs are out there for those type of degrees? Like nowadays, jobs will just hire you just because you showed that you finished a degree and it showed that you were able to complete something. But to do something in that field and be like, yeah, they're not hiring me, or I'm getting laid off. It's like, how much does the job industry value those type of degrees? Let me know in your comment section down below.
I'm currently in Hawaii on holiday and I just got 2 emails that triggered me, and let me share. I was going to wait until after the holiday to share about my job hunt process, but I just think that I'm going to share now because I'm being triggered. Trust me, I'm fine. I'm doing okay because I'm actually not attaching emotions to all of this job hunt shenanigans that is going on now. But if you've graduated in 2025, you know how the job market is, especially for public health people and for academias and researchers. It is the craziest time. I had applied for 2 postdoctoral positions in the same company and I met all of the requirements. I also exceeded meeting all of the requirements because it is even in a niche program that I had studied for 5 years and I had done my project, my dissertation on. So for sure, I thought I was going to get an interview. But also, I know that right now, multiple people are applying for the same position. Yep. But honestly, I just thought I was going to get an interview. But unfortunately, I just got 2 emails for those 2 roles stating that they're not going to be moving forward with my application for an interview. And this is
So one of the things that I hate about getting a letter and your email and saying, oh yeah, we're moving forward. Unfortunately, you weren't selected for this role, blah, blah, blah. I hate that we can't improve from it. It's almost like completing a homework assignment or a test. And then the professor is like, I'm not going to mark the questions you got wrong. It's like, how are you supposed to improve from it? And I get it. There's discrimination laws that, people in companies would not cross the line for because obviously they'd be in legal trouble. But that's just one of the things that I personally don't really appreciate about the job industry. So whenever it's time for me to search for a new job or getting to an interview, not only do I mentally prepare myself like most people, but I go all out. I'd rather them tell me hell no than you weren't selected. And I don't always get that response, but I always leave with that integrity. I always make sure, and this is a part of sales as well, so I'm dropping some gems right now, right? A lot of the times people, there's certain job industries where, or jobs in general that will choose you because of your education, but I believe we're in the job economy where it matters about who you know, not what you know. Of course, you need to have a higher level of education depending on a certain type of job industry you're getting in. But at the end of the day, are you able to speak with integrity? Are you able to speak with confidence and sell yourself to the people who are across from you? And that doesn't mean you have to break your principles. It means that you have to listen off of what they are looking for. You think they're looking for the best person who is educated and prepared for this job. But a lot of the times they want somebody who they feel related to, who they feel like would be a perfect fit in the role. And you're not perfect, but at the same time, you can literally ask them questions like, well, what are you all looking for when it comes down to having someone fill in this role? I see what's on the paper, but I see what's online, but what are you all looking for, considering that you all work in this building? Like, what is this building? What do you all care about? Seeing what other people want goes a lot further than telling them who you are, is what I'm saying. And when preparation meets opportunity, when they say what they need, you can match what they need and you don't have any fluff in between it. You know what I'm saying? That's what sales is. You finding out what people desire and you bridging the gap. Because HR be writing them job postings, not the people who are actually doing the job and working right beside you. HR. And these people don't even understand the job sometimes. I've been on so many tech interviews where the HR people are like, yeah, I have no idea what this is, but I got to ask this question. I'm like, thank you for being honest. I definitely appreciate you. And I promise I'll be honest as well. You know what I'm saying? They don't know too much about the job. They know how to do the HR work, but they don't know too much about the job. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about this, though.
One thing I think about ever so often is the people who got degrees, PhDs, whatsoever, and still work minimum wage jobs. I think they're a pocket of society that we tend to forget, although sometimes it really keeps me up at night. And what really highlighted this reality to me is when I was working at Essence being, the big company. I was working at their factory, okay? I kid you not. If not, every 2-3 people you see in that factory, 2 of them, maybe 2 out of 5, these are statistics I'm just making, 2 out of 5 of them probably have a master's degree, and maybe 1 out of 7 of them have a PhD. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, you literally did what they told you to do. Our parents push us to go to school because they're like, if you go to school, you got a degree 100%. Society tells you got a master's, you make it 100%.
Nope. One of the biggest lies in the world that a lot of people have gotten manipulated off of is when you go to school, you're guaranteed to get a higher paying job. Cap. You have a better chance. And when you get in college, you're not really living in the real world. You're living in the collegiate world. And so a lot of people, technically, in layman's terms, are homeless students. Like, you stay on campus, you're getting in more debt. A lot of people don't have jobs, but you're working on getting a higher paying job, which is cool. But you're not living in the real world. And when you get in the real world, you figure out, man, I got this sheet of paper called a degree, but these jobs are asking for experience. But how am I supposed to get experience if my experience was in college? And then, yeah, don't get me wrong, there are opportunities in college that can give you the experience, right? Maybe an internship or some other program or project that you can work on. But not everybody can get into those things. Most people just don't, because there's only limited spots and limited time. And so we got to ask ourselves the question, what can make me or you stand out in a world full of people who has the same sheet of paper? Because last time I went on job interviews, they never asked me about my GPA. They never asked me about how many credit hours I took. Yo, I believe them days are over. Especially with AI coming into the industry, it's already penetrated how many times an employee has to worry about a task getting done. I'm working at a company right now. I'm working in IT, and one of the employees had called because I work help desk, and they were like, I need help with this AI program. Could you help me? I want to change this layout. And I'm like, bro, college is years behind. I believe the most important thing to do once you get the degree or while you're getting a degree is learning how to market yourself. Because these colleges marketed the idea of people guaranteeing a job, but they don't. People take that into their own heads and say, man, I'm going to get a job once I graduate college. No, they guarantee the degree as long as you follow their curriculum. But you got to know how to market yourself, which is so important for you to network, for you to know other people, so you can have connections, and so you know how to communicate. So when it comes down to searching for things, you have the upper hand against other people who are nervous about having a job at the end of the day. That's my belief. What do you all think in the comment section?
Society tells you have a PhD, you don't even have to look for a job. People will be looking for you. But I think it's effectively a lie. Because I meet people every so often, if not Ubers. And like Look, it's another discussion talking about people who did their degrees elsewhere and came here to start over. This is something different. I'm talking about people who studied in these institutions and followed y'all's laws and followed y'all's rules and still didn't make it, literally did everything. What else can you do? And it creates this weird situation where like you're overqualified, you've not been in the field, in the working field for God knows how long, and now you can't really see yourself outside of like getting a professor job or like I don't know what kind of other job, the dryer. So then you have that huge gap. You're no longer entry position level because you have so many years of experience on your belt, and people don't want to hire you because you're getting older. And now what's left for you is to work minimum wage. And
Again, selling yourself is one of the most valuable skills you can have, in a respectful manner, of course. Knowing how to communicate, knowing how to convey a message and not give too much fluff, knowing how to make yourself memorable in a workplace is one of the most valuable things you can have. One of the things that I do to make people feel important when I meet new people, I don't know about you all, but I used to be terrible with remembering names. So let's say L Cool J, right? I meet L Cool J. Let's just call you J, right? My name is J too. So let's just call you J, right? If I met Cool J in person, I'm like, "What's up, Jay? How you doing? Nice to meet you. Justin Askew." Boom. All right. I'm shaking your hand. I'm cool. That's my legal name, Justin Askew, but I go by Jay. So anyways, I'm talking to L Cool J, and I'm so consumed about what I'm going to say next because it's my first time meeting him. I'm like, dang, I forgot his name. Because that's what happens to most people, right? When you meet new people and you're nervous or you're at a position or getting an interview, you usually forget some people's names, right? And it's because you're nerves, right? But you're focused more on yourself than them. So to flip that script, what I do is say, "Oh, your name's Jay? That's interesting. What does that mean?" So now I'm giving him attention. Now he's giving me definition behind his name. "Oh, Jay means this? Oh, got you. Oh, that's pretty interesting. What does that name? Well, I already said, what does that name mean? What does that stand for? If I didn't know what J stood for, right? But now when he tells me what his name means, I correlate that. Oh, J means Justin. Cool. J means Justin. Now my brain is remembering a pattern, and I made his name stick, not by trying to over listen, but being more interested in what he had to say about himself versus me. It's a skill. I'm telling you, it goes so far. People love to be seen. People love to feel heard. People love to feel important. And that's how you make an impact, by just remembering somebody's name. That's how you become more memorable. Hey, what's going on, Jay? You know what I'm saying? Dang, he remembered my name? Man, he makes me feel important. You know how many people I meet per day that don't remember my name or don't acknowledge me? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can take it, hate it, love it. That's just something I've done, and it's definitely worked for me in sales and in the corporate world as well.
that's one of the saddest things. And it's like, at what point do we blame these people? Because people will say, you didn't try hard enough, you didn't apply hard enough. But what do you say to someone who for 5 years has been applying nonstop and still didn't get a job in their field? What do you say to them? Maybe have some better luck next time?
So this is the last thing I'll say, because she's bringing up so many good points. And if you all have been watching a lot of my videos, I do come off controversial, and I do disagree with what a lot of people say, because, well, I surround myself with a lot of positive statements. I read a lot of self-help books. And so I've had to reprogram my brain from thinking like, man, well, what am I supposed to do? I got denied by so many jobs. I've had friends tell me they've applied to 200 jobs a week and they've struggled to get a job. Okay, and so when you're an entrepreneur, you run into problems all the time. That's what you get paid for, is to solve other people's problems. So you have to change your mindset in order to figure out, how did this problem happen? What can we do different in order to never have this problem again? And we can move forward from it. I'm not going to sink in my own problems. And hear me out, y'all. When I have a problem in life, I literally set a 5-minute timer, and I might complain. I might say, man, all these jobs, they saying no to me. What the heck do I do? I got a degree behind my back. They don't want to hire me. I give myself 5 minutes for that BS. Then after that, I got to move forward. Why? Because the only way you're going to get the result you want is persistency. If hopefully I didn't make up that word. But anyways, being persistent, right? So the reason why I believe so many people complain about, man, these jobs don't want to hire me, is because they're going on Indeed and hitting apply, apply, apply. Ooh, they're paying that much. Apply. Yeah, send resume. Apply, apply. You know how many people are doing that? The job market has literally became Tinder. The job market has literally became Tinder. And that's a great thing. We should capitalize on it. Why? Because so many people are being lazy with applying that now it takes a little bit more effort, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit more effort for you to stand out. Because most people are lazy. Now you just got to move one step forward and you're automatically standing out. What can we do to put ourselves forward of majority of people? Maybe I should find out who is the manager in that company, in the position that I want to work under or work above, whatever. And sometimes you gotta be, what's the dude from You on Netflix? I don't know his name. Is it Steve? It's somebody. But the dude from You, he's basically a stalker, right? I'm not telling you to do nothing illegal. I'm saying going the extra mile never hurts when it comes down to opportunity. Right now, I'm working for a company. They're doing a merger. No, I'm not going to say the company name, but let me tell you, I had to send like 10 different separate emails in order for them to give me an extra shot with working with them more so I can get around the right people in that company and potentially get hired. Now, that's not a guarantee, but you know what? A lot of my coworkers, and I love them, they haven't done that. And that's cool because I'm not in competition with them. I'm doing extra so I can stand out. If I'm always doing extra, nobody can compete with me. And if I still don't get the job, at least I said I knew I did more. And that's maybe there was a better candidate. But to do the same process and hope to get hired, clicking a button, hitting apply, clicking a button, scrolling down, hitting apply, I'm not going to be lazy with something that I want. If I want something, I'm going to get it. And if I'm going to get it, it means it takes persistency and mental fortitude. All right, I digress.